Hi guys, so I wanted to share with you a brand new wig that I have from WigShe. This is wig 113, so it's one of their more recent releases. This is actually my fourth WigShe piece and it's definitely my favourite so far for two reasons. First of all, the density, and second of all, the colouring. WigShe have definitely upped their game in terms of colouring, which is something that I'm really pleased about. That's a really positive thing. So a little bit more about this wig. This is in the length of 18 inches. You can have it from 12 inches, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. 18 feels just about right for me. It's just like the right length for me. I feel that I'm very comfortable in, so I went with an 18 inch. It's not one length all the way around. There's some really very soft, subtle, long layers in here, but they are really, it's very difficult to tell and pick those pieces out, but you'll be able to see that there's a few and they're literally a centimetre maybe shorter than the longest length, so it's not very obvious layering, but I kind of like that because it means that this is really a blank canvas for me, and that I can have it cut and styled into a style that suits me best, rather than pre-cut layers, which you're not always sure if they're going to work for you. Everyone's got different shape faces and different length faces, so it's nice to have a blank canvas, I think. So the density on this is 120%. Their WigShe wigs are generally, their natural density is always 120, but for some reason this time round this feels like the most natural density than the others have felt. They've always felt like a little bit much for me, and I've had to have them thinned out slightly, particularly towards the front, whereas this one kind of feels like it's already had some of the bulk taken out, and I feel like it looks like really natural and better straight out of the box than some of the other ones did at first, until I had some work done on them. So I'm really pleased with this density. It's like it just feels like just enough hair. I feel very confident in it. So the hair on this is Remy human hair. It's really soft and silky, as wigs always are when they first arrive. I always find WigShe hair seems to take really well to heat tools, so if I want to add in curls, or if I want to straighten, which I did do with this, it takes to it very easily. It's not an awful lot of work. I just work in layers from the bottom upwards, and it seems to take to it really well. When this first arrived, it was in like a very curly style, and there was some severe box hair going on here. If you're not sure what box hair means, essentially, like, imagine it's like a really bad hair day because that wig has been cooped up in that box while it's been in transit, and you take it out and you think, oh my gosh, like, what is this? This is not what I ordered. The curls and the box hair combined, I put it on my head and I thought, oh my. But also at the same time, I know it just needed a little bit of work, so actually I just took the time to run the straighteners through and create a more sleek straight effect, rather than those big curls, just because this is me. This is how I like to wear my hair, straight. So the colour on this is described as multi-dimensional blonde, which is exactly that. It's a very neutral blonde. There's no brassy yellowness to this at all. And then there are some darker shades of blondes, which you can kind of see here, breaking up that lighter blonde. I just think it looks really natural, very well done. And there is a lovely shadow root on this as well, as you can see. I love a shadow root. It just gives that kind of natural regrowth effect, which I think just makes the piece look that much more natural. So in terms of the hairline, I think it's done really well. It extends all the way down to the ear tabs on either side, so there's very good coverage, and despite having a dark root, they are very small knots. It's lightly bleached knotting, so I think they look really good actually. The only thing I will say is that the invisible sort of lace, it is a little bit obvious here. I might need to trim this back a little bit further. I think it's only on close inspection you can kind of see the line between the lace and the forehead. Yeah, that's probably my only thing, which I would say isn't as perfect as I'd like it to be, but nevertheless I think it still looks great. The ear tabs here are really flush, And if they're not flush enough for you, there is a pressure sensitive clip underneath which you can secure down onto your bio hair if you have any in that area. There's also sort of like a wiring within that ear tab as well, which I feel like means that you can bend it in towards your head to make sure it does sit really flush. Sometimes that's the kind of can be the giveaway area, is that it flaps up really easily, but with the wire and the clip there, you'll be looking at a really secure fit. So this has a lace top, and it's a fairly large lace top, so you can part it anywhere in sort of this general section, and it should look like hair is growing out of your own scalp. I always like a WigShe part line. I think they do those really well actually. So let me show you. If I want to change it to a right side part, I can do. Obviously would need to tame it slightly, but there we go. Looks like scalp. And on the other side. Obviously you probably need a bit of heat and a bit of water just to tame those hairs in a different direction if you did want to change the parting up. Let me show you what it looks like all the way around. Let's have a look at the cap now. So here is the cap. You've got that extended lace front, which I have already trimmed, that runs into the ear tabs, and then you've got this large lace top section. You can see there's a slight discolouring there, and that is where the knots have been lightly bleached. There's a comb on the top for security, as well as one at the back by the nape. You can remove these very easily by unpicking the stitching. There are those ear tabs with the pressure sensitive clips. And then there, as I say, there is some sort of like wire in there as well, I think, which helps, I think, to keep it flush against the side of your head. Again, you can unpick these if you don't find these useful. They are on both sides. The rest of the cap is enclosed wefting, so all around the back and the sides in this kind of mesh material, which has got a really good amount of stretch to it. There's an extended nape, and then you've also got these hook adjusters which you can reposition into these other loops to tighten or loosen it to your head size. This is a medium size cap which fits me really well with a circumference of 21.75 inches. I would say you could probably stretch to maybe a 22 for this size, and then perhaps you'd be looking at going for a large if you are any larger than that in circumference. Let's get her back on. And there we go. That is wig 113 from WigShe.